Silver dealer warning, we will never see this for gold and silver. I visited my local coin shop today and was shocked. According to my dealer, we are never going to see this happen for gold and silver. I'm going to break this down and show this came out today. So check this out. I want you to be prepared. He showed me this article on Reuters, and the headline reads, Swiss National Bank presses ahead as rate cutting front runner. The article starts, the Swiss National Bank cut interest rates on Thursday for the second time running. We are being lapped. Second time running, pointing to easing price pressures that allow it to maintain its position as a front runner in the global policy easing cycle now underway. Underway for the Swiss, clearly not underway for us here in the States. Let's continue. The article says the Swiss franc weakened against other currencies and stocks gained after the central bank cut its policy rate by a quarter basis points to 1.25%. Can you imagine 1.25%? It's just painful that this is not happening here. It says cut its policy rate by a quarter basis points to 1.25% as expected by 2/3 of analysts. The article says that the S&B's decision had been finally balanced given a recent rebound in economic growth and a break in the trend of gently falling inflation in Switzerland. Why can't this happen for us here in the States? That is the number one question. Because when that does happen, gold and silver, like this silver here I'm holding in your screen, we will get a huge bump in value. The gold and silver have a inverse relationship to the interest rate. When interest rates are low, people look for a more safe store of wealth to put their money into, so they turn to precious metals. When interest rates are high and treasury yields are high, people put their money where their money is being treated best. And here in the States, we have a specific feeling of frustration because Wall Street is just booming. Wall Street is hot. Wall Street has been hot for weeks and weeks. But here, you and I, with precious metals, we're feeling very stagnant. Both gold and silver are feeling quite stagnant. We're not dropping to a terrible level, but we're feeling stagnant. That thrill that we had 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, that thrill is gone. And now we see the Swiss cutting rates down to 1.25. I mean, that is just such a low rate. It is just incredible to see that. This article says, even at the furthest end of its forecast, covering the first quarter of 2027, the S&B now expects inflation at 1%, well within its 0 to 2% target range. And that's what we're all looking for. The recent rise is the article. The recent rise of the Swiss franc, driven by rising political uncertainty in Europe. This should be happening to us because we also feel political uncertainty. Again, rising political uncertainty in Europe, pushing investors toward the safe haven currency. It was also highlighted. Now, the franc has gained 4.5% against the euro in the past month on political concerns, including these upcoming French elections. We have elections here in the States. We have a very, very tumultuous, dramatic, nail-biting election here. So we should be seeing this here in the States. And this is what my dealer was telling me today. But we're not. We're not. Switzerland is a different beast, and we just have to accept and really just be envious of them being the front runner. Typically, the United States, we are leading the way with central bank interest rate cuts and hikes. But here, we've seen the Swiss really take the lead. And to see it happen the second time is just brutal. So as we watch our precious metal prices, like silver here, really hover between $29 and $30 an ounce, it is really difficult for you and I who've been stacking silver. If you're enjoying this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe. It really helps to get this information out there. It's frustrating for you and I who spent the past 2 years looking at that silver price hovered down in the low $20 range. And nobody wants it for this to be our new level of stagnant price. We have other moving pieces that are coming towards silver to bump it up. And clearly the demand ratio compared to the available silver is going to be one of the key players as 2024 rolls out and 2025 comes in, because that is what's really going to change the game for silver. We see that from the Silver Institute. We see that from every economic indicator showing that the green revolution is here and industry demand is not what it used to be. It did typically, yes, there was always an industrial use for silver, but nothing like we have coming down the pike. And that is what's really going to bump silver up.